I believe with every fiber of my being that self-defense begins here and here before it does here. In this video, I want to share with you 3 things that I believe will help you be more successful in defending yourself. These are not physical handheld weapons. They're something else. Stick around. A lot of the things that make us most successful in defending ourselves are things that don't really come to mind. When most people click on a self-defense video, they're looking for a martial arts move or some sort of physical weapon. As always, I welcome ideas in the comments because I never approach any video by saying these are the be-all, end-all. These are just 3 that I really want to talk about. I have personally benefited from all 3 of these things, and when I look back on situations that I've been in the past, although few, these are the things that stand out to me the most, even more than physical abilities. Number 1, proper breathing in a heated situation. Next time you experience a jump scare, next time you pass a state trooper going too fast, next time you get some sudden bad news, next time you experience anything that makes you feel a great sense of fear, pay attention to how you're breathing in that moment. What you will discover is that it's very similar to what you experience when you're starting to enter into a conflict with another individual, whether it's an argument or whether it's something that could be worse. People don't realize it, but they will often hold their breath or not breathe properly in those situations. That's why their voice cracks when they talk, and that's why they feel crippled with fear a lot of times. A good way to practice breathing in a crisis situation is to practice in your day-to-day encounters with fear. For example, if you do get a sudden scare or something that comes at you that makes you suddenly feel afraid, pay attention to how you feel inside, but I want you to take in a deep breath. And what you will discover is that deep breath will help you think more clearly and respond better to that fear. Proper oxygen as well will help you speak better. You know those moments in life where you heard something suddenly that was terrible, or you found out something, or something happened suddenly. You know that helpless feeling of, oh God, on the inside. You know that feeling. It's in that moment. You gotta get that air coming in. You gotta keep it coming. You gotta keep that air coming in, because as you do, your brain's gonna function better. You're gonna function better. If you're being confronted by somebody or somebody has targeted you and you think you might be in danger, it's time to start taking in that air. So in summary, at the first feeling of that fear that takes your breath away, get it back and keep it coming. Number 2, time and space. We've talked about these a lot in other videos, but time and space provides a lot of things. Time and space can help you in every way. It can help you prepare more. It can help you get away faster. It can help you to respond more effectively. It can help you to have more de-escalation time. Time and space is so important, and so many people don't allow themselves that. They allow the conflict to get right up on them, and it puts them at a huge disadvantage. They're not looking for as much time and space as they can get. Time and space will be the thing that will give you the opportunity to decide whether you need to retreat or you need to act. And if you need to act, act more effectively. And as we always say, it's situational awareness and anticipation that will give you better chances at getting time and space. Now let's put the first 2 together. Think about how much better off you'll be with proper breathing and time and space. The third and final thing I want to say is something that a lot of people don't think about, and that is commitment. Something that a lot of people deal with, and I don't fault them because I understand how difficult this is, but something they struggle with is a lack of acceptance of the crisis that they're in. There's a lot of people who mentally shut down and they don't want to accept that they are in a crisis. And what that does is that affects your commitment to survival. And the only way to be committed in an attack is to watch videos like this and to take time to think about what you'll do, to think ahead. That's why we bring these situations to the table, because it gives you a chance to think about your response before you're ever in those situations. Hopefully you'll never be in those situations, but I will tell you this much. If you are, you cannot be anything less than committed to your survival. And with commitment has to come acceptance. But let's think about something here. Don't we have to be committed anytime we stand our ground? You have to be committed to even verbally defending yourself. You have to be committed to defending your position in a business meeting. You have to be committed anytime you defend anything, especially your life. And the thing that causes a lot of people to not be committed is they become crippled with fear and they just don't have the tools that they need to survive that situation. Man, all it takes is a little bit of preparation to be a lot more prepared to accept the situation that you're in and be committed to getting out of there. With commitment comes sacrifice, because when you're in that moment, you can't be thinking about anything other than getting out of there. A lot of times here on YouTube, people want to preach to me about what's legal and what's not legal, and I get that. You should always check your state laws. But I think just like the kid in school who's afraid to defend himself against a bully because he don't want to get in trouble, a lot of kids deal with that, by the way. I think there are a lot of adults that do the same thing out on the streets. They don't think they can defend themselves. They're worried about the law and they just lay down and they get hurt. You got to be committed to getting out of there first and foremost. That should be the first thing on your heart and mind. You show me somebody who's committed and I'll show you someone who will more than likely get out of that situation. We know how effective good combatives training is. We know the effectiveness of weapons, but these are weapons of the mind and the heart. Proper breathing, being able to manage time and space and get what you need, and being committed, not sticking your head in the sand and saying, why me? Why am I in this situation? No, you got to accept the crisis that you're in. You got to be committed to getting out of there, and you got to make the sacrifices necessary to do it. Get to safety first, go to the courtroom later. We don't want to ignorantly approach the statement, it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6, but we do have to think about it a little bit. Have any of these things ever benefited you in a crisis situation? I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching. Take care.